Hey there, welcome to the Happy Teaching Podcast. Today we are talking about an alphabet party. That's right, an alphabet party. Does that sound any more pre-K or kindergarten, right? Like what's going to sound more pre-K or kindergarten than an alphabet party, right? How fun does that sound? I hope it sounds fun to you because I have hosted one with my class before. I've hosted an alphabet party. They absolutely love it. And I want to share it with you because it's so easy to do and really fun for the end of the year. And you actually could throw an alphabet party anytime, but the end of the year just ties everything together really well and it's super fun. Now, in a past episode, which I'll link below for you, we have talked about the idea of an alphabet countdown. We have it in an episode with some other end of year ideas. This episode is not about the alphabet countdown, but that could pair really well with an alphabet party also if you want to give a listen to that and see if a countdown is something that interests you or something that would even work for you and your students. You may not have enough time left in your year. It may not work for you, but we'll link it below just in case. So let's talk about a party, the alphabet party to be specific. First, I'm going to say this, and I say it all the time, but I'm going to say it again. When it comes to parties in the classroom or not parties, really anything you're doing, kids are as excited as you are. Kids will be as excited as you are. I hope you're not hiring party planners for your kindergarten classroom parties, right? I don't think any of us are at risk of hiring a party planner to do those parties. But let's pretend you have the most epic party planner and they're just like, it is Alphabet City in there. It's like a production, right? But let's say you're stressed, you're like tired, you're not having a good time. You're like, woohoo, alphabet party day. That energy, like kids notice that they're not going to have maybe that much fun. They might be excited, but they might be like, oh, it's fun, woohoo, but not as fun as it could be if you were also loving it, right? This isn't to say that we're entirely like, the weight of the world's on our shoulders and we have to always be so excited or our kids won't be. But on the flip side, listen to this example. Let's say, and you've probably had this happen, let's say you tell your kids, oh my goodness, we are going to celebrate the alphabet today. I'm so excited. We are going to have a fruit snack alphabet party. I have alphabet fruit snacks. Can you believe it? Alphabet fruit snacks. They have letters on them. And after recess, when we come in, we're going to sing some alphabet songs so loudly and so excitedly. We're going to have an alphabet fruit snack party. I cannot wait. Right? They're going to be so excited and they will probably be talking about that fruit snack alphabet party when they're grown. Okay? So it doesn't matter what you do. It truly does matter how you do it. If you are excited about something, so are they. This side note here, that is key for if you are given like a curriculum lesson or something where you're like, this is the most boring thing in the world. Like, I don't want to do this lesson, or it seems like a dud. Flipping it in a way where you can get behind, like trying to make it your own and make it exciting, makes it an even better lesson for your kids. And for you, you're going to enjoy yourself more, okay? So just repeat that mantra. They're excited as I am, as excited as I am. So let's do a party that you like. And if you're anything like me, which I'm guessing a lot of teachers at this time of year especially are, we do not have time to be planning elaborate things. We have so many other things on our plates. We want simple, we want easy. Yes, we want fun, but we don't want to be miserable during it. We don't want to be exhausted and sweating, running around trying to host this classroom party. Okay, so that's what we're going to do is make an easy alphabet classroom party. So the first thing is, I know I mentioned alphabet fruit snacks, and there are alphabet gummies, and we'll link some below in the show notes for you if you're allowed to bring in snacks and things that are packaged to your classroom. There are also things like alphabet cookies, which I found before even on like Amazon, or you can go to like sometimes grocery stores have them, Trader Joe's, things like that. But you don't have to have an edible portion. But I do have a recording sheet for you where it's like they take their snack, turns it into a learning opportunity here. They take their snack and they match it up with the letters on their page. Now, they don't usually have 26 pieces of a snack, but it's fun for them to see, which letters did I get? So they're sorting their letters, matching them up onto their recording sheet there, and then they get to eat their snack. Super easy. Kids always love snacks. You've also turned this into a fun center. So that is a free printable for you. Below, you'll find those in the links. And then also, if you're thinking, wait, I love that, but we have allergies or we're not allowed to bring in snacks, things like that, you can still do this with magnet letters or erasers or any other letter. And to make it more fun, remember, they're as excited as you are. You can do something like, I'm going to give everyone a scoop of letters. I want you to sort your letters, and then I'm going to draw a letter out of the bucket, and that's going to be the mystery letter. And if you have a mystery letter, you're going to get a prize or a sticker or anything. Cheer. We're going to cheer for you, right? Do you see how I took something seemingly kind of boring, like pick a letter and put it on your mat? It's not super exciting for a party, but now it is exciting, right? You could do both. You could do the snack version and then the magnet letter version. They each get a handful to sort on their mat, but then you, out of your own bucket, are going to draw a mystery letter or just pull one out of your brain, and whoever has that one gets something special. It doesn't have to be big. Okay, those are the things that level this up to make it feel more exciting. Okay, next up is alphabet bingo. We'll link below for you as well. Bingo is just so fun to play in the classroom, but let me give you a tip here. Now, maybe you've played it a lot with your kids this year and you have a system for it and a rhythm. With pre-K especially, or with a large class, even with kindergarten too, I just like to play until the board is full. We just go for blackout bingo. We are not trying to learn that, like, there's a time and a place for learning the official bingo rules. With 25 kids and a party day, that is not it. Not in my opinion. So we just play till the board is full, right? And then people are going, oh, bingo, they're so excited. And then we just clear it off and we do it again. And maybe at the end, everyone is getting something, right? Or the ones who said blackout first bingo, maybe they're getting something. But I don't even, honestly, I'm thinking back, I don't think I even did prizes because they don't care. They're just excited to cheer and say bingo and play again, right? Because it's something new, it's something different. They're just excited. I highly recommend, though, when you draw the letter and you're saying like, who has a B, cover up a B, put it on the document camera or up where they can see it, in case they don't fully recognize their letters or they need some help. That way you can keep the game moving and kids are not getting stressed out or missing things. And if you have an assistant or helpers during that time, it's a great time to have them kind of go help. I personally play bingo with all of my kids at the Circle Time rug. All of us are at the rug. Excuse me. We are all at the rug and their boards are right in front of them. And I hand out the tokens and we're sitting where I can see everyone's board. Because they're young, they do kind of like miss letters. They might space out. They might be like crying because they miss something. You know, they're having fun, but there are things to it where it's just easier to just be together as a group. That way it actually keeps moving. So those are just some little management tips, but also we go in with a little more relaxed mindset of, you know what, on a party day, sometimes things might feel a little wonky and it's okay. All right. Lastly, this is going to be your favorite one, I think, because it was mine, is we would do an alphabet song portion of our party where I would have, whether it's, now you might not be, if you're not allowed to use YouTube or if you have to listen in different ways, you're going to have to think through what is allowed in your classroom. But we would have our favorite alphabet songs. I would like pre-select some on like a playlist for YouTube, and kids would each get a turn to, from the pre-selected things, to pick a song. So one that maybe we've done together or one they see on the screen, they're going to pick a song. Again, I've previewed these and selected them. They're ones that we either know or I approve us doing. Fast-paced, things like that, or slower if you need a break. Just any sort of song. If you have a lot of kids, you can do these throughout the alphabet party day because you're not going to do 20 songs in a row. No. But you could do like in the morning, a couple songs. Kids pick a couple songs. In the afternoon, a couple more. And if you need to go into the next day, that's fine too. It's really fun to give everyone a chance to choose them. And it's an easy thing that still feels like a party, but you get to listen to a song and take a little breather. Okay. All right. So those three things, that was my alphabet party, right? Had the snacks, we had bingo, and we did a lot of alphabet singing, and we just celebrated the alphabet. So I hope you can pull some ideas from there. You can also combine them with the alphabet countdown idea, mix and match, whatever you need to do to make it your own. All the links will be below for you. And I wish you the smoothest and happiest end of the year if you're listening during this time, or alphabet party. See you next time. Happy teaching.